Broadcasting live from the catacombs deep beneath the empty Wallet Gamer offices. I'm Spider Duck Writer Greg, and I've got a guest with me. Please introduce yourself.
And I'm your reporter on the scene, Jeremy, coming to you live from the action in Transylvania. And this is the final level of the game, and it's looking pretty dead. Why don't you give us a little background on what's going on around here?
It's pretty dead because the game's pretty much over. The main sequence of stages ends with the moon, where you get the big giant maze. So this is more a denouement than anything. More for form than for actual, gameplay.
Yeah, I can't help but notice this level is looking awfully familiar for a final level in a game. I mean, what's going on there?
Well, it's kind of a mysterious level that they set up with lots of mirrors and tricks and traps. So it's neat that you get to re-explore and find a key in one place, and find that Dracula Duck was living here all along.
Well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it, and that's one little point that you are hitting right there. As you're going through this final level, there is, aside from the occasional rare drop from an enemy, this is a drought level. There's no treasure to be collected anywhere. You'll notice that the helmets have been removed from all the suits of armor, which used to be a source of treasure. There's no hidden diamonds anywhere. This is just straight action. So, yeah.
So, I did take the opportunity, though, to show off sections that I did not on my first run. Since my first run I just went through as quickly as possible, so here I showed off the basement, which in Remastered you have to rescue one of your nephews there. And also the minecart section is a little more complicated in the Remastered version.
A lot more involved, yeah. Interesting.
So what do you think about how they reused the Transylvania stage twice?
Well, personally, I find it a little bit baffling. I mean, apparently the developers were really fond of this stage, because you visit this stage about 3 times over the course of the entire game. Once as a main level, once to get the key to the African mines, which is just sort of, thrown in at the... it doesn't really seem to make much sense. It causes you to go through the African mines a second time. And finally, as the final level itself, I mean, they didn't even go to the trouble to develop an actual final level. They just saw fit to use this again and again. It makes me wonder, did they run out of time? Were they coming up against deadlines for this? It kind of makes me wonder if they intended more interactivity between the levels, like maybe they intended you to go back and forth between a lot of them more, but this was really all they had time to program in. It makes you wonder if there was some sort of cut material, that was supposed to be in this game. But, anyway, this is it. I mean, this is the final battle that we're seeing right here. This is you versus Dracula Duck.
I think it's a fitting final boss, because it's certainly the funnest boss in that I get to bounce on as many things as possible.
That's true. They do make full use of the pogo mechanic. And it's cute. I mean, it's nothing too involved. And there he goes. He's down. And just as a little, final splash of the game, they throw this in. They throw in Scrooge's arch-nemesis from the TV show, Flintheart Glumgold, right here in the final scene, teaming up with Magic Dispel, and you have to race him up to the top of a rope to get the treasure. It never really fully explains what the treasure is. Presumably it's what you've been getting throughout the entire game, but...
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the 5 treasures that Glumgold stole. Or something.
And it is, in fact, possible to lose that race, although you pretty much have to throw the race. It just counts as a death, and you have to redo it. There's some dialogue. Now this ending, that little treasure there, that changes based on what you see, based on how much money you collect. Scrooge McDuck remains the richest duck in the world. It just remains. Nothing's changed. Yep, you're still rich.
I think you have to get 10 million to get the good ending, and I got 8 million here.
Yep.
It was like the middle ending.
Sub-headline to the newspaper, thousands starving in Africa. I wish I'd have said that right during the actual headline. It's like, Scrooge McDuck, still richest duck in the world. Sub-headline, thousands dying in Africa. Just like nothing's changed. All that was for nothing. You've killed untold flora and fauna, killed thousands of natives over the course of your hunt for treasure.
Can we have Heart of Darkness, except with Donald in the place of Marlowe?
And I guess that would make Scrooge McCurts.
Oh god. McCurts.
Right, lads, I couldn't have done it without you. I really am the richest duck. What is this? Yes, thank you, nephews, for whatever it was you did again. What did they do aside from tell you to keep going? I mean, did they do anything over the course of the game?
They...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it just shows that cute little picture where they're, like, looking up at him. Could we throw that image back up again of them looking up there? It's like, yeah, just remember us when it comes time to put us in the will. We're still in the will, right, Uncle Scooge? We help, right? I just love the way they look in that ending scene. It's like, yeah, we're still in the will, right?
You think that's what they're thinking?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. They've got their hand out. Come on, we all know Scrooge isn't that lovable.
Oh.
He's a gravy train. Anyway, so that's the NES version, so quick wrap-up.
It's more just a cap off of the game, and I think it's satisfying in that, right? But maybe it does point to the fact that, or maybe it does point to the idea that they wanted to put more content in.
Yep, so let's see what they came up with for the remastered version. I understand they took quite a different route.
Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.
Zip it up and zip it out.